My mom and I experienced homelessness while I was a junior and senior in high school. My teachers saved my life and went above and beyond in creating space for me in their classrooms. And at the same time, they had abundantly high expectations.
I want my students to success, but first of all, I want my students to feel safe, to feel heard, to feel valued, and to feel loved. If a student is feeling good, is feeling okay, he or she is going to perform better, academically speaking. It's not just a place in where you just teach. You have to be there for your students. You're the support that they don't have.
When we start the day, I greet my students. I check in with their emotions, check in where we are. Even before I start teaching them, I need to understand where my student is. Are they here with me?
When I was a senior in college, I was asked by one of my professors, would you like to teach a rock lab? And I was like, sure, let me try this. They said, hey, I really appreciate you explaining things. Like, I understand now more what they're teaching in the lecture class now that I've had you in the lab class. And that feeling was magic. A lot of my kids that were high achievers or getting the curriculum really fast, they turn around and they would teach their peers. And I learned very quickly taking those students and having them become peer tutors is amazing.
My one professor was just super amazing, super encouraging. One day in class, she was telling us about pes planus, which is flat feet. So she hopped up on the table, took off her shoes, and stood there and said, see, this is what flat feet look like. And I was like, yep, I definitely want to do that one day. I want to encourage students and have fun with physical therapy and anatomy and kinesiology.
I was not the best student growing up. When I graduated, they still stuck by me. They still mentored me as I was trying to figure out my way. It's the little things that matter to the students. But really, not just tell them, but you have to show them. It's just not inside the classroom I worry about them. I worry about them outside. And once you get them to buy in that they actually have a future, their choices outside of class change.
One thing that I'm really proud of is the growth mindset that we are instilling in our kids. And throughout our lessons, kids are constantly saying, this is tough, this is hard, I can't do this. And a lot of times their classmates will come back at them and say, well, Miss Andre always says math is tough, but so are you.
I keep working as a teacher because of them. My students is what drives me to keep doing it, to keep working. Their successful is also mine.
When my kids leave my classroom, I want them to have some type of path that they're on, and knowing that after high school, it's not just, what do I do now? They have that goal already in mind.
Sitting in school, we would sit in lectures and you're typing in PowerPoints or you're writing down notes, but you get to high school or teaching in high school, it's like, well, you can't do that. They're not going to learn that way. So understanding like, okay, this is what I want you to know. These are different ways we're going to learn that material. Really one of the things I think comes across the best in my class to help with their challenges. We're faced with challenges every day, so how can I show you that we can still get this done?
One person can change a child's outcome. When my students leave my classroom, every day I want to make sure that they know I did not waste their time. I want them to realize that they had all the support they needed, whether it be college, career, military, to make the right decision that will give them the brightest future. Because if we've done that, not just in my classroom, but as a campus and as a community, then the kids will have the self-discipline, the inner drive, and the knowledge to make sure that they make great decisions in the future and that their life is more prosperous than where they came from.
I want them to always say, my teacher showed me empathy, I showed her empathy, and they grow up and they have that for each other, for their families, for their friends, to make this world a better place.